Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Archive Radio. I am your host Ichino, and I am so excited to be here with you today. Today is Thursday, June 25, 2026. It is a beautiful day to learn something new. Are you all ready to put on your thinking caps? Today we have a very interesting topic about computers and how we interact with them. Specifically, we are talking about human-computer interaction. Let us look at the training article from the archive today. The title is Dissociable, Spatial, and Temporal Effects of Interaction Latency in Virtual Reality. The curl is habs://arxiv.org/abs/2606.25681v1. I know that is a very long title, but do not worry at all. I am going to break it down so it is very easy to understand. Let's start by talking about virtual reality. Have you ever put on one of those big headsets, and suddenly you are in a completely different world? It is like magic. But sometimes the magic does not work perfectly. Have you ever moved your hand? And the hand inside the game takes a tiny moment to catch up to you. That tiny delay is called latency. Specifically, this paper looks at interaction latency. Now, why is this a problem? Well, think about how you use a normal computer mouse. When you move a mouse on a flat disk, you are using a two-dimensional interface. If the computer is slow and the mouse cursor lags, it is definitely annoying. You might miss clicking a button, but your brain knows it is just a computer screen. However, in virtual reality, you are in a three-dimensional space. The virtual hand is supposed to be real hand. If your virtual hand lags even a tiny bit, your brain gets very confused. It messes up your hand-eye coordination. This paper tries to solve a big mystery about this delay. Scientists wanted to know exactly how this delay hurts our performance. And they wanted to see if the delay makes us slower or if it makes us less accurate. To figure this out, the researchers did a really clever experiment. They had people sit at a physical table and point to different targets on the table. First, they did it in the real world with their real hands. Then they put on a virtual reality headset. In the virtual world, they saw a virtual table and a virtual hand. The scientists used special cameras to track the real hand, and they purposely added extra delays to the virtual hand. They added delays of 0, 10, 50, 100, 200, and 500 milliseconds. 10 milliseconds is super fast. It is just 100th of a second. You would think no one could even notice that. But here is the amazing part of the thesis. The researchers found that even at that tiny 10 millisecond delay, people started making spatial errors. That means they became less accurate when pointing at the targets. Our hands would overshoot or miss the exact spot. However, their movement time did not slow down at 10 milliseconds. They were still moving just as fast, but they were missing the mark. It was only when the delay got much bigger, like 50 or 100 milliseconds, that people actually started moving slower to compensate. It means that even if a virtual reality system feels fast, and even if the user does not feel like they are slowing down, that tiny invisible lag is secretly learning their accuracy. This is what the long title means by dissociable effects. The spatial effect, which is the accuracy, and the temporal effect, which is the speed, are completely separate from each other. They break down different times. Now let us think about how this affects everyday life and compare it to older technologies. In older video games, if there was lag, or a character would just jump around the screen, we called it rubber banding. But in modern virtual reality, the graphics look perfectly smooth. The screen updates perfectly as you turn your head. This is called view contingent latency. But the interaction latency, the delay of your hands, is much harder to completely erase. Let us look at 3 specific application examples to see how this discovery impacts the real world. First, imagine a medical school using virtual reality to train surgeons. Surgery requires extreme precision. A doctor needs to practice making tiny exact cuts. The training program has even a 10 millisecond delay. This paper shows that the student will make spatial errors. They will miss the exact spot they are aiming for. If they practice like this for hours, they might learn the wrong muscle memory. When they go to do real surgery, that bad habit could be very dangerous. So designers of medical virtual reality must test for spatial accuracy, and not just check if the program runs fast. Second, let us talk about drone pilot training. Flying a fast drone through an obstacle course, or using teleportation to control a robot from far away. requires split-second reactions. The pilot is relying on visual feedback to guide their hands. If there is a small delay in the system, the pilot might not realize it because their speed feels normal. But as the paper explains, their spatial accuracy is already disrupted. It might steer the drone slightly off course and crash it into a wall. Knowing about this hidden accuracy probably allows engineers to build better controllers and helps pilots understand why they might be making mistakes. Third, think about sports coaching. Let us say a hockey player is using virtual reality to practice hitting a puck. A player swings their virtual stick to hit the target. If the virtual stick is delayed, the player will naturally hit the pad at the wrong angle. They might not even feel the delay. But their brain is slowly adjusting to the wrong timing. When they step onto the real ice, their swing will be totally off. By applying the findings of this paper, sports developers can create strict rules for interaction latency. If the delay cannot be fixed, maybe they should not use virtual reality for that specific accuracy training. Why? These examples show exactly why this research is so important. We cannot just look at how fast someone finishes a task in virtual reality. We cannot just measure their throughput or efficiency. We have to measure their exact spatial performance. The scientists warn that evaluating human-computer interaction in virtual reality requires us to look at both the timing and the spatial accuracy. If we only look at one, we might think a system is perfectly fine when it is actually causing hidden problems. This study also shows that virtual reality is not a perfect copy of the real world. Even when researchers tested the virtual reality without extra delay, users still performed worse than they did in the real physical world. The headset itself, and the way our eyes focus on virtual screens, changes how we perceive depth. This is called vergency conflict. It causes people to compress the distance they see, which makes them reach too short or too far. This just proves that our bodies are incredibly sensitive, and tricking human senses is very difficult work. So class, what do we learn today? We learned that when you move your hand in a virtual world, even a tiniest delay can throw off your aim, long before it slows you down. We learned that testing virtual reality means testing both speed and accuracy separately. And we learned that as virtual reality becomes more common in hospitals, and sports, and engineering, we have to be very careful that the virtual practice does not ruin our real-world skills. I think this is a fascinating step forward for human-computer interaction. It helps engineers understand exactly what they need to fix, so that one day virtual reality can feel exactly like real life. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Archive Radio. I really hope you enjoyed our little lesson today. Have a wonderful Thursday, everyone, and keep learning new things.